My name is Zoe, and here I'm just so excited again to be joined kwa studio by one beautiful, amazing lady tukiwa na Karani hapa. It is warmer here because you see the white stuff, you get it. So I'm also not very much lonely today because I'm a psychologist and I found someone who is speaking my language. So I will be having her introduce herself and tell us more about maybe psychology before we have a very, very beautiful conversation on this mental health week. Karibu sana.
Thank you so much, Zoe.
You're welcome.
I'm happy to be here. My name is Trizah. I'm a counseling psychologist and the CEO and founder All Smiles Therapy Center.
All Smiles.
Yes, All Smiles Therapy Center. We are based in Westlands, and yeah, we are a team of many psychologists, and we do mental health services.
That's so beautiful. How long have you been there?
We've been there for the last, as All Smiles, for the last 3 years. Exactly, operating and seeing people. But as professionals, we've been there longer than that.
Oh, it's the organization that's 3 years
old. Yes.
I get it.
Exactly.
So we have some things that we would like to understand. Personally, how did you find yourself in mental health stuff, and what drew your interest to maybe go to school and decide I'm gonna be a psychologist?
Wow. I came from corporate world, working in a normal organization and all that, and I was tasked to lead teams, and so I realized as you are doing your managerial roles, you also need to be more humane than just being, you are employed and all that. You're supposed, because employees can never work like a robot. So in the interest of getting to be in their shoes and understanding them, that's how I found myself. I had actually done, MBA corporate management, like you are just okay in your corporate, but I still felt I was missing something. And that's how I found myself back to school to study psychology. I did it for the teams that I was leading, not knowing I'll be out there to see people and to run All Smiles Therapy Center.
Oh, that's so beautiful. So, Alex.
Yes.
Sijui kama unajua mambo ya mental health.
Well, for me, I've been with friends who kidogo wamekuwa na hiyo issue, na nikisema maybe kitu kama moja ni watu walikuwa into depression. So sijui kama that is part of now the like una need kusort your story, kwa sababu I'm not very conversant about that area, but at least I've been with people who kidogo unaona, alafu kumekuwa na myths mingi about mental health. So maybe hapo ndo naweza taka ku understand more, Zoe.
Yeah, like understanding what exactly is mental health. What do we mean by that?
Yes.
What is mental health, Trizah?
Mental health is all about emotional stability, your emotional well-being, and we break it down to how you feel, how you act after the feeling. Exactly, how you act and how you relate to your surroundings. And surroundings might be the people you are with, your kids, your employees, just any other person.
So being aware on sasa vile life iko in general about because for kuna time ingine nilikuwa na mtu fulani, and then this person said this guy has low intelligence. So I don't know kama alikuwa anamaanisha about maybe umse kidogo, is it a myth probably in that area story ya mental health?
When we look at myths in mental health, I mean, there are many of them, given that we are Africans. And in most cases as Africans, we like associating. Like things can just happen like that. You can just wake up one day and maybe you're not there tomorrow. You can just wake up, you're okay, and tomorrow you're doing something different. You're all smiling on your own and all that. So people want to associate that with, could be witchcraft, they are possessed, it's a curse in the family, and this is what we say when you come to mental health. It's about minimizing. Other than dealing with the issues presented to you, you want to minimize and say this is a curse to the family. Even their great grandfather committed suicide, so it's there, it's generic. So by doing that, you've not offered them the help that they require. Why? Because you've not given them that audience that actually this person is going through some disturbances, some mental health issues, and they need help. Yes.
So like we understand we have maybe several spiritual and cultural needs that come with understanding mental health. Like for instance, you understand, at least we know that we have some genetic factors when it comes to mental health, but we should not be just like jump onto it. It is, so that's what is happening. You're saying we should focus on first addressing the issue at hand.
Exactly, get to know the presenting issues. And in mental health, we talk about two different parts. We have the presenting issues. Like someone will come to you and they tell you, for me, I've come because I'm having issues in my family, or I'm undergoing divorce or something. But now when you want to dig deeper and get to know the reasons as to why. So we just don't go directly into you're going through divorce, so this is how, we'll take you through the process. No, we want to know before then what transpired. So at time you might realize this person is even dealing with childhood traumas, which are now manifesting in their marriage life. Like now you stop seeing your partner as someone you love. Maybe when you're growing up, you lacked a mother figure, a father figure. So now your partner, the more you are with them, you are seeing the father figure, the mother figure that you missed when you are growing up. And definitely we know there is things you do not do with your mother and your father. Hence, there is now that family disconnect, which means whatever now it's happening, it's as a result of manifestation of unprocessed childhood trauma. So for underlying, we want to go deeper.
Yeah.
If it's childhood, can we start processing so that now we can come and live healthy?
So like we go to the roots and address every issue one after the other.
Exactly.
Oh, I get it. So have you maybe with your clients, have you come across any other mental health needs? Maybe what can you tell us about some of the other needs?
We have many of them, and just like what I've said, witchcraft is there, where in a family they fail to address something like schizophrenia. Schizophrenia is now what in a layman we say, quote unquote, that's a mad person. In a psychology world, we do not have any word like mad person, so we just define it as per the portrayed traits. So in this case, they'll go back to this person was working, they were doing well and all that, but seems like someone, had a bad eye on them, other than being in a position to see the person is no longer doing what they used to do. So how we talk about it is, let's be each other keeper. First of all, you need to be more aware about your emotions. Get to know if you've been this person who is just lively, engaging people, and all of a sudden you just feel withdrawn, you do not want to see people, you are avoiding them, you are no longer happy, you have issues, at times something like anxiety, you'll get to know you are not stable. First, be aware of yourself. And when you feel you can't explain what is happening, call out for help. That's the first position. The second one, if it's you, Zoe, and you happen to realize that now with Alex, he's no longer the same person. He's shouting, he's irritable, just check on that person and tell them, hey, I realize nowadays you're no longer the same person. Because by doing that, you are creating awareness, and they're able now to take a step back and realize
what if they tell me off?
Could be.
What if they just tell me off? Where and kuna issues, where leave me alone? What do I do?
Yes, now you get to know there is something we call projection. And in projection, we see like when we are dealing with addicts, they'll tell you, no, me, I'm not an addict because I can control. But in the, you can see it. So in such scenario, go an extra mile because you care. Call them out, even for a glass of water, have a conversation with them, and you tell them, I realized the other day when I talked to you, it's like I offended you. Is there anything you'd like we talk about? And you might be surprised that this person is carrying so much on them. So if we can run away from the myths of they behave like this. Also something about us being believers and spirituality, which is very good. However, at times, it's also used against. For our church, we do not do this. We pray, and we say it's very good to pray because most of us, we are results of prayers, However, let's get to know when we are praying, and when we are praying for God to intervene so that we can get the help. Just like you have a patient, let's say cancer patient. If you say you're just going to pray for this patient without any medical attention, definitely we are going to lose them. But we will pray, and we also ask for God's wisdom, even as doctors attend to the patient. Yes.
I get you. I really love that and what you're saying about it. And Karani, I don't know if you have had a situation in your life yenye you feel like kama una struggle na mental health.
Yeah, for me, I had gone through depression. And there
How
was a
did
time,
you know it was depression?
Yeah, well, unajua mi naweza sema something happened in my life and nikalose mtu, and it was too much for me that actually singeza nilikuwa na feel ni kama niko nasema inferior, yani niko below what people should expect of me.
It can reduce your worth.
It can reduce my worth. Yeah, so hata singeweza kujiangalia kwa mira. Yani nilikuwa natembea hivi tao and I had my little kid, natembea hivi tao nikiona mira I would look aside so that I don't look at myself because I felt worthless. So no. but I thank God kwa sababu mi kitu iliniwakia for because I had so much energy but sikuwa na outlet ya kuitoa. Unaona, and probably nilikuwa tu naona tu maybe this is a phase that will die off, but for me being a musician I think being in that pain ilituma nikaenda studio I had an outlet, so by that pain nikaenda studio and I did a song, but depression was too much for real kwa sababu there were times naamka asubuhi napata nilinos bleed usiku. It was just too much for me. So and hata kuoga saa zingine unapata na mtu anakuambia msee angalau guza kamaji kiasi but unajua wewe uko tu sawa, wewe hata uone anything ikiwa big deal.
That's true.
Unaweza kuja tu tao uko na slippers na uko na vest
na uko tu sawa
and you're good to go.
And I think Alex, there's something nice you've mentioned about having your outlet in music.
Yes.
So I think that was something we call coping strategies, like how do you deal with what you're going through? And probably Trizah, would you tell us maybe some of the ways we can deal with mental health trauma or mental health issues to be able to cope in a healthy way?
All right, just to come to your case, to use it now as our base case.
Yes.
You see, you are talking about you are going through depression. So one of the coping strategy is to seek professional counseling. You know why? Because as you're saying, I was eager to know how, like she has asked, how you got to know it was depression. I was expecting maybe a test was done to quantify that you're going through depression. However, it's how you felt you are able to relate with depression. But now after you've gone further explaining to me as a specialist, I'm seeing loss and grief. A time, because there is the basics we know out there. When you're going through issues, you are depressed. Maybe you're in a very toxic space, you are depressed. So we do not know, and it's okay because it's not your area, So when you go for a professional attention, they will be able to break it down and now come up with, here we are dealing with loss and grief, and now even as you are being helped process, you will go through that process now for loss and grief, which is very different with depression. However, depression now in this case, it can come up as a result of unprocessed loss and grief.
Okay.
So depression can be a standalone illness, and at the same time it can be as a result of a mental health illness that has not been attended to. He has talked about not being able to take shower, and to him he was okay. These are very common symptoms with people who are going through mental health issues. When you are unable to take shower, for other people it's either they will overeat, that is they eat too much, or they fail to eat. So it's either you add too much weight or you lose a lot. So we have a lot of symptoms. You've talked also about nose bleeding. It's what we call psychosomatic symptoms. That one means now we say no health without mental health. So when you are mentally not okay, even your physical health is affected. That's why we'll have things like nose bleeding, BP, your blood pressure can just go up or low. Exactly. those severe headaches, and you're just there. So it's good to note and to get to know about our support system. When you talk about coping mechanism, for someone will come, and basically this goes to most men, because when you look at even the cases of suicide, for men it's a bit higher than for ladies. Why? Because for men, they will use negative, what you call negative coping mechanism. Like they'll call each other, they go, maybe they're taking some, you know, they're out there somewhere clubbing. To them, they're just minimizing, or they're numbing, or it's what we call defense mechanism. They'll talk, the other person will laugh at them, you know, like, how can just one woman stress you? How many are they out there, you know, for sad? So if we can adapt positive coping mechanism, the first one is to know it's okay not to be okay. And the best thing to do is to call out for help. Professional counseling, that's number one. Coping mechanism, get to identify who in your life is someone you can go to, someone you can trust and talk to. Could be our parents, someone who will not judge you in whatever that you're going through. Also look at other things, like you've talked about music, a very much, you know, positive coping mechanism. I want to let out whatever I'm going through in form of music, in form of art, you know, using your talent, even in your work. And lastly, spirituality. Very, very important. Very, very important.
That's beautiful. And I think there's something you mentioned about, like his case. There's something they say in physics that you cannot destroy energy. The best thing you can do to energy is convert it. So if you convert a negative energy to a positive energy, you can use the pain you're feeling and put it into something really constructive, and it be of help to you and other people. Now, when it comes to spirituality, there are two Bible verses that I love, and they're really common. And they have two words that are used very much in psychology. The first one is anxiety. And the first one says, do not be anxious about anything, but in everything, through prayer and supplication, let your requests be made known to God. That is, it is easily explainable, unaielewa mwenyewe, but sasa applying it. When you tell someone who's anxious, do not be anxious, they're like, it's not my choice to be anxious. It's just happening. But you can pray because God hears us. There is another one that says, that uses the word mind. Do not be conformed to the patterns of the world, but let your mind be transformed by the renewal of your mind. So your mind can be renewed, because now psychology is a study of the mind. Your mind can be renewed over and over when you interact with God and the Spirit of God, and that. So for me, it's a very beautiful coping strategy, especially for someone who has gone through depression, anxiety, and everything. And I coped through, and you find yourself overcoming. At the other time, uko but you go back to do not be anxious, and you stand up again. So that's so beautiful. Thank you so much for being with us. So Alex.
Yes, Trizah, where can we find you?
All Smiles Therapy Center, we are based in Westlands for our physical clients. However, we see clients all over. Actually, we say we are a global organization. We run 24/7. So we see clients physically and virtually, whether you're within Kenya or even, you know, abroad out there. You can call us on 0793 561 669, 0793 561 669. Call, send us a WhatsApp. We are going to respond in real time. And you can visit us in all our social media platforms as All Smiles Therapy Center. All Smiles Therapy Center. Yes.
Do you charge, or now that is...
Yes, of course, there is a fee because you're coming to see a profession. However, we've ensured that we've discounted all our costs. You know, when you come and you want to book for a session, it goes for 3,000 Kenyan shillings per session.
How long is the session?
It's for 60 minutes, 1 hour session. And when you're coming and you're booking, you know, like in bulky, we give discounts. And not only that, not only Trizah that you'll be able to meet, we have a team of so many psychologists, male, female, because of course we have some people who will come with their preference. So we are here to listen, and even for organizations out there, we are here to offer the service for you.
Thank you so much, Trizah. It has been very informative. As personally, me na feel nimejengwa sana, and I'm so sure watu huko nje kuna venye if maybe you can get in touch with Trizah just get help. Mental health is very key in our society. Thank you so much, Trizah, for coming.